There's no sports league unlike it anywhere in the world, where cartoons and football come together. This is the United States Cartoon Football League, celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Season's greetings, cartoon and football fans, and especially fans of He-Man. This is Bob Mozark of the USCFL Network, welcoming you back to the He-Man Triple Threat Episode Runoff Challenge. In our continuing series of episode runoffs, we are pitting episodes from 3 different versions of the same series. Once again, football scoring will be used from 0 to 8 points. We are pitting one randomly selected episode of the original 1983 He-Man series and the 2002 remake versus one episode of the new Masters of the Universe series in chronological order. As we did when we did the She-Ra episode runoffs, where He-Man wasn't featured, we're doing the same here. Those episodes that featured She-Ra are excluded from this contest. As we go into round 8, the original He-Man series is still in the lead with 49 points, followed by the 2002 remake with 45 points, and the new series is trailing with 42 points. There are only 2 rounds still left with a 7-point difference between the 3 shows. Can either the original series or the remake put this contest out of reach? Or can the new series come from behind to win? Find out now. After a brief pause, we will begin round 8 of the He-Man Triple Threat Episode Runoff Challenge. 1983, He-Man series, Season 1, Episode 48, Return of Evil. Orko is frightened by the appearance of Aramesh, a robot electroid from his home dimension. Aramesh has come to Eternia to capture Orko and obtain the orb that Orko used to travel to Eternia. Skeletor decides to pretend to assist Aramesh in order to obtain the orb for his own use. When He-Man and Aramesh are fighting, Skeletor transports Aramesh and Orko to Snake Mountain. Skeletor then later enters the palace and returns Orko, but demands the orb, which Man-at-Arms promises to produce in 1 hour's time. Orko tells He-Man that the orb is hidden at Castle Grayskull. They retrieve it and with the help of sorcerers come up with a plan. They tell Skeletor and Aramesh that the orb is hidden at Tar Swamp. Orko uses the orb to create an interdimensional portal, and Skeletor follows Orko into the void. Aramesh does not want to enter, but He-Man throws him into it. Orko returns with the orb, and Sorceress closes the portal, trapping Aramesh and Skeletor. Queen Marlena knights Orko for his bravery. Second episode is from the 2002 He-Man series, Season 2, Episode 34, Second Skin. Lord Dactyls arrives with snakeskins found by one of his patrols, which proves that King Hiss and his minions have escaped. Sorceress is still weakened from the last episode, but tells He-Man that King Hiss has gone to the Sea of Rakesh. He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Teela, and Mechanic travel there, but are defeated by King Hiss, who obtains the Serpent's Ring. Orko and Roboto question Ratlor in the dungeon, but he does not provide significant information until Orko creates a giant mongoose to frighten him. Rattler tells Orko and Roboto that the Serpent's Ring can transform humans into snake men, who must then obey King Hiss. He-Man and his allies travel to the village of King Carnivus, which contains the ruins of the Ophidian Spire. Placing the Serpent's Ring at the top of the spire will allow King Hiss to transform all the humans on Eternia into snake men. While He-Man is fighting the snake men, King Hiss uses the Serpent's Ring to transform Man-at-Arms, Teela, and Mechanic, but Roboto and He-Man are immune to the ring's power. He-Man rips the spire from the ground and hurls it into the sun, which destroys it and the Serpent's Ring, forestalling King Hiss's plan. Final episode is from the 2021 Masters of the Universe series, Episode 8, The Gutter Rat. This episode immediately follows the previous one, as Savage He-Man has transformed back into Prince Adam. King Randor meets Andra and appoints her as the lieutenant in his royal guard. Queen Marlena returns and is thrilled to see that Adam is alive. Adam is shocked to find out that his death drove a wedge between his parents and that their relationship is now strained. Evelyn talks with Duncan and tells him that she follows Skeletor out of loyalty because he saved her when she was a homeless youth. Skeletor berates Evelyn for not figuring out how Adam became Savage He-Man without using the Sword of Power. He then shows her how the time is approaching when Eternia will be at the center of the universe, allowing him to gain even more power, but he has no plan other than amassing power for its own sake. Evelyn seduces Skelegod into transforming back to Skeletor so she can be intimate with him without danger to herself. But when he does, she uses the Sword of Power to transform herself into a being called Evil God. Skeletor uses a portal to escape from Castle Grayskull. Evil God manifests herself to the people of Eternia and destroys Preternia as a demonstration of her new powers. Adam is surprised when Skeletor appears and asks to be invited in. We will now briefly pause before returning with the wrap-up and scoring. Wrap-up. Return of Evil was a poor episode. None of the evil warriors does anything but talk, although they easily come and go from the royal palace without any hindrance. It is not clear why Aramis needs the orb, since he is able to appear in Eternia without it. Orca does show some temporary character growth, but he will no doubt be back to his old ways by the next episode. I give this episode a 3. Second Skin was a good episode. Orko showed the ability to act on his own without being directed by He-Man. Give this episode a 6. And finally, Gutter Rat was also a good episode. It was an Evil Lyn-centric episode. The relationship of King Rondor and Queen Marlena fell apart because of the secrecy about He-Man's identity. Marlena was even prepared to return to Earth. It was nice that Andros Worth was recognized by King Randor. I give this episode a 6. As always, viewers are welcome to submit their own reviews and scores. This is Bob Mozark of the CFL Network, US CFL Network, signing off until next week. On December 5, 2021, the USCFL commemorated the 40th anniversary of the first ever USCFL championship game with an exhibition rematch between the children of the Founding Fathers and mothers of the USCFL against the team of the Pink Panther. As their parents did 40 years ago, the Founders won the game 34-29.